Ramakatha Rasavahini, Prema Sudhamritavahini, Sathya Sanatani Dharma Swarupini, Shanti Pradayini Mokshakarini, Ramakatha Rasavahini, Ramakatha Rasavahini.
Just to recollect where we were last week, I guess so already this. We are studying the chapter 2 of Ramakatha Rasavahini, where Swami is narrating the lineage of Sri Rama. We started with Katvanga Maharaja, then Dilipa, then Raghu, and then now Raghu has had a son by the name Aja. Various aspects we discussed, so we will continue from where we left off. Maybe we'll just read this slide which is on front of us once, and then we'll continue. Sai Ram, uncle.
Sai Ram, everybody. True to his words, 10 months later, Raghu was blessed with a son, dazzling like a diamond. The rites of baptism and naming were performed by the palace priest. He was named Aja. He was a very charming babe. He grew into a sprightly boy, eager to learn all the arts and sciences. He became an adept in each of them. His fame as a great scholar and a very accomplished lad spread throughout the land. In course of time, Raghu also felt his father's urge to place on the prince's head the burden of the scepter and himself retire into the forest for the contemplation of God. He too called on the ministers to arrange for the transfer of authority by means of a rite of coronation and to synchronize that rite with the marriage of Aja with a suitable bride. Indumati, the sister of Bhojaraja, the ruler of Magadha, was the bride chosen to be the life partner of Aja. After the installation of Aja on the throne, the royal parents left for their forest hermitage. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. So I think we discussed this slide last week also.
Yeah.
If anyone has something to discuss here, we can discuss, else we will move on. I think we'll move on.
Aja, with the queen as his loving partner, won the loyalty of the subjects by his wisdom and sympathy. They scrupulously followed the advice given by Raghu on the ways and means of administration. Aja loved and revered the world and its inhabitants as the reflections and image of the Indumati he loved so deeply. So he was full of happiness and exaltation. They used to spend days and weeks in beautiful sylvan retreats, admiring the glory and grandeur of nature. Meanwhile, the queen gave...
No. Previous.
And slide moved.
Slide moved. One more.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Meanwhile, the queen gave birth to a son. The parents were overjoyed at this happy event. They had the news communicated to their revered preceptor Vasishta. They wanted ceremonial rites to be done for the newborn baby. He was named Dasharatha. Dasharatha was indeed the pet of everyone who saw him and who had the privilege of fondling him. The child waved and tossed its limbs about as if he was all vitality and joy. It appeared as if it was fed on Ananda, bliss, and it lived only for imparting Ananda to all. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Actually, we will read.
Yeah. Sai Ram.
Sorry.
ఇందుమతి దేవితో అజమహారాజు రాజ్యపాలన చేయుచు ప్రజల మన్ననల అందుకొనుచు తండ్రి ఆజ్ఞ జపతాటక పృథివిని పాలించుచుండును.
King Aja, along with Indumati, Queen Indumati, he ruled the country and acquired the respect of all the subjects, and his rulership, in his ruling, he did not transgress the injunctions given by his father.
ఇందుమతిని బింబముగను ప్రకృతిని ప్రతిబింబముగను భావించి
He considered his wife Indumati as the image or object, and the creation as the reflection of her.
అజుడు అత్యంత ఆనందముతో కాలము గడుపుచు
He spent his time in great joy.
ఇరువరు వనమునకు వెళ్ళి
Both of them went to the forest.
సహజ సుందరమైన ప్రకృతిని చూచుచు దినములు వారములు వనములందే గడిపేడివారు.
So they used to go and they enjoy the natural beauty of nature for days, weeks, and so on. And they used to spend the time in the forest.
ఇట్లుండ ఇందుమతి దేవికి నవమాసములు నుండి పుత్రుని కనెను.
While this was going on, Indumati bore a son after 9 months of pregnancy.
పుట్టిన పుత్రుని చూచి తల్లిదండ్రులు ఆనందముతో వశిష్ఠుల వారికి ఈ వార్తను తెలిపి
So the parents were overjoyed and they sent advice sage Vasishta with joy the news of this.
జాతకము వ్రాయించి నామకరణమునకు తగిన ఏర్పాట్లు గావించి
So they got the horoscope cast and they made the necessary arrangements for his naming ceremony.
10వ దినము పండితులను పిలిపించి దశరథుడను పేరు పెట్టిరి.
On the 10th day, they invited scholars and named the baby with the name Dasharatha.
దశరథుడు అల్లారు ముద్దు బిడ్డడై
This Dasharatha was a darling of everyone.
దాసదాసులు ఆడించుచుండ
The maid servants were making him play.
కేకలు వేయిచు కాళ్ళు చేతులు ఆడించుచు ఆనందమే తన జీవితం అన్నట్లు
So he used to make sounds and noises and shake his hands and legs, and joyfully his entire life was full of joy.
దినదినాభివృద్ధి గాంచుచుండ ఒకనాడు అజుడు
As he grew, as day by day, one day Aja,
ఇందుమతి దేవిని did I read? Has read it?
no auntie.
No, that's all. Sorry. That's the ఆనందమే తన జీవితం అన్నట్లు దినదినాభివృద్ధి గాంచుచుండ.
Yeah, because that sentence is I think only half of
yeah,
it.
in English it is.
Okay, thank you, auntie. So I think everyone can read. So he's describing, Swami is describing the life of Aja as a king. How he loved his wife, and he felt that the creation or the earth is only a reflection of him. And they used to spend lots of time in the forest looking at natural beauty. Swami says days and weeks they spent in the forest.
Okay.
And Dasharatha was born.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
ఇందుమతిని బింబముగను ప్రకృతిని ప్రతిబింబమును భావించి, when Swami says this, that means he cared the Prakriti also as much as he cared for his wife, and he admired Prakriti, the nature, beauty of nature, as much as he admired his wife Indumati. Does it mean that way?
I think Swami is a slight difference in Aja and the previous his ancestors is what I can see. He loved his wife before more than his the subjects and the country. He loved his wife, but he of course he loved the world also. But I think in his order of importance, wife sort of stood as the most important. That's what I am getting.
But particularly when Swami says Indumatini bimbamagunu prakrutini pratibimbamuguno, she was the reflection of that bimba. Bimba is Indumati, original image.
Yes.
She is Prakruti.
Yes.
So that way, he admired both of them equally.
Yes, he admired. But there is slight slant of affection for his wife. And I think his life also slightly different, because he spent a lot of time, going on excursions on natural beauty. See, there's no clear, there's nothing mentioned about of course he did his ruling well, so he got the respect of his subjects, it looks like. Yes, Ron Bina, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, just another observation. This is from the previous slide, that Aja is very much described as being a scholar, an expert in all the arts and sciences, and that the way in which people respected him was not so much as a warrior like his ancestors, but the wording is a bit different. So, of course, there's difference among individuals, so it's just another thing that struck us as being a bit different from his ancestors. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. Anyone else would like to discuss?
Sai Ram, uncle.
Yes, Sai Ram, Mohit.
So I think we are so close right now. We have reached the grandparents of Lord Rama now. So it's one more thing that I noticed, like all throughout the lineage, I think it's very interesting that Swami decided to start so many generations behind, and as we have gone through the pages, we can actually see how similarly excellent each generation was. As we can go through the pages, each one of them was loved by their subjects. Each one was excellent in their spiritual pursuits, in their professional stuff, whatever they were doing. So I think it's an amazing thing that the excellence of this dynasty was maintained for like 6, 7, and 8 generations without any fail. I think it goes on to show the quality of the dynasty that Lord Rama was born into. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Advait. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts?
Uncle.
Yes, Aisha.
Uncle, the translation for that one line Auntie was talking about, the Prakriti, I have it as he considered his wife Indumati as the image, is it?
Yes. Bimba means...
Like image in what sense, Uncle? Can you just explain like what that...
See, in front of a mirror, if a person is standing, that person is Bimba. The reflection which is seen in the mirror is Pratibimba. Okay. So he thought his wife was the Bimba, but the creation, nature is her reflection only.
I see.
It's very, see, Swami puts, for some people, see, some kings will say God is the image, creation is his reflection. And my wife is also one of them. But for Aja, his wife was image, and the creation is her reflection.
So is it kind of slowly reflecting like because like in the earlier kings, the focus was very much Dharma and for the people, and so is it pretty much Swami's pretty much like it's showing the difference between the reigns of the kings and queens, is it?
See, even the Swamis use certain words which I found very, very significant, I would say. He says he did his job well and he earned the respect of his subjects. That's the first thing. Then he says he did not transgress the injunctions. That means he was disciplined, but he did not do anything in a more positive way, the way I am here seeing that. So the thing is, he did he did a very dharmic life. He looked after his, he did not transgress any of the injunctions by the father. So the way it looks as if, he did the bare minimum which was needed for a king. Still, it was good. But to some extent, I find, certain spiritual aspects are not there the way it was in Dilipa and Raghu. Whereas, they say they were Veda Poshana, they were looking after everyone. They personally looked after the rishis and all that. Here also, see, I think the previous one said, they went, personally looked out the welfare of every single sage, even in the jungles for us. But here, he seems to be going to enjoy the nature. Okay. A lot of vacationing. Okay, that's the way I see it, but I will stop here. But Ron Bina, please go ahead.
So here, is it like generation dharma, artha, kama, moksha coming? Sai Ram.
Now, can you repeat this?
So from what I guess here, what I think that is it, the generation is like from the Dilip to now, King Dilip to now is a dharma, artha, kama, and then moksha. Is that the way we can say it or not? Sai Ram.
Okay, very good. I think what Bina is, let me see whether I understood. You're saying from Dharma, more Dharma was important, then Artha was important, then now there seems to be Kama getting a bit more prominence. Am I right, Bina?
Yes, in a way, that way, yes.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, it seems like that to some extent. Yes, Sister Shanti.
I'm just thinking slightly differently. Like Swami says, see oneness in all that we see. So if we love God the most, then we see God in everyone that we see. So like that, if he loved his wife, he's seeing his wife's image in everyone. So he's treating everyone alike, the highest possible love. It's just a thought.
Thank you very much, Sister. Thank you. Yes, Sister Anandi.
Sai Ram, I also think it's a transition from the one stage to another, and the Dasaratha, King Dasaratha is the personification of 10 senses. So because up until now, we have already discussed that they have given much more prominent for the service for the country, service for the people. This is the landmark stage, and then even King's Dasaratha, maybe in Swami's another Vahini, maybe Swami mentioned that because of the Dasaratha's maybe the in the 10 senses, he has been that sort of, the worries and all those things, it happened to him. So this is the beautiful transition up until before King Aja, they have been, maybe the another sister beautifully said that maybe this is the maybe more of important for the karma stage, maybe more of desires, and even in the King Dasarada, it has been more worst, even though Lord Rama was born, but Dasarada, as the king, he suffered a lot, at his the last stage. So maybe that's the way I think that maybe it's a really a steep transition from the ancestors to this one, and then even the Dasarada and the Lord Rama, Lord Rama somehow, because of his, the unique, the quality and everything, he has been much more famed, and the very, the unique quality, Bhartani with Viradan or something, but the King Dasarada, it was maybe a bit opposite to that one, I thought the transition very nicely. That's the reason I was wondering why Swami, they gone back to the 8th, 9th generation and bring one by one. What was the purpose? This is the purpose, I think. Thank you, Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, sister, thank you. Very nice. Anyone else has any comments? See, I also felt, Dileepa was blessed by Kamadhenu and Raghu was born. And, he got a blessing. And I think in the case of Raghu, this sage Kautsu blessed, and then Aja was born. But in this case, when Dasharatha was born, there's no one's name has mentioned, they blessed and he got... so that also I found a bit different compared to, how, whereas, Swami says they were going and spending time in Vanam, forest, enjoying the sights of nature. Maybe nature blessed and Dasharatha was born. So
say that I think like earlier Swami said also for King Dileepa, he says for the sake of the divine mission of the Lord along with the queen, he went to the forest.
Yes.
So the focus was like,
exactly. So slightly different, So I think Swami is to some extent showing how each person's life is also just for us to understand these things. Is nothing bad, He did not transgress any of the dharmic injunctions his father had taught him, and that's why he got the respect of his subjects and so on.
So, in case of Aja, it was he gave more importance to his wife. What's her name?
Indumati.
Indumati. He loved her so much, but we cannot say that it is wrong to say that. It's not wrong. He loved her, and then at the same time he looked after his subjects also, did all his kingly duties. So we cannot say that it is karma entering into it.
No, there was dharmic karma, but it's I think importance of what takes little precedence over other things. I don't think we say from a spiritual perspective, is this a way we now we have 3 examples. Should we lead a life like Dileepa, or should we lead a life like Raghu, or should we lead a life like
Aja?
These are things which I think all of us have to inquire. So I think that's it. So the various options are given, and each one has choose which example they would like to follow. Yes, Sir Rohit, please go ahead.
Uncle. So if you look at the grammar here, so there is a so in between, right? So he loved, so of the inhabitants as the reflection images of the Indumati, he loved so deeply. So he was full of happiness and exaltation. So his happiness and exaltation, as if you're understanding it correctly, it was coming because he was seeing the world and its inhabitants as the reflection of his wife Indumati, whom he loved so deeply. So, I mean, Swami has said in multiple discourses that everything is a reflection, resound, and what was the other word I forgot of our inner being. So maybe he was able to connect with his wife and the world around him in such a deep manner that he was able to see everything and everything around him as a reflection of his own inner being. So he was full of happiness. Because the way I'm understanding this sentence, the reason why he was always happy and exalted was because he was able to see that reflection and image of his wife in everybody. So maybe that is the goal here that Swami is saying we must strive for, that we must see everybody as a reflection of love or something we love. And I don't know. I mean, I understood the second half, but I didn't understand the first half as to. So, what do we understand by him seeing the world as a reflection of his wife?
So the thing is, if how Swami wants us to live in this world is a question we can ask. If you love your wife, you want to, then do we go and do seva thinking that the other person is your wife? Or I think that's the question which I'm asking. Or do you want to see he's a reflection of Swami? See, Swami wants us to analyze this and understand. I think later on, as we read, we will understand. If a person thinks you love somebody, and you think I love the other people also as same person, do you want to love Swami and see the world as a reflection of him? Or do you want to love whoever you are in love with, and see the world as that person's reflection? That's the question I'm asking, but it's okay. I'm not saying it's bad, just to be on the safe side, but it may be reflecting how most people live their life today. And we think nothing is wrong. Maybe nothing is wrong. Yes, Sister Aruna.
Brother, we try to understand little more about what is that, how he is seeing his wife as like how he loved his wife Indumati, and he is seeing everything is outside like that. Isn't it like when you are happy only you can share the happiness with others, kind of it comes like if you are not an happy person, you cannot share with anybody, and you cannot spread the right thing. So maybe that is it's symbolized by saying that we have to understand that person need to be happy, kind of. I'm just thinking. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Sister.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram, uncle.
The character of Indumati, we will understand in the next chapter. She is a special person who was born on earth. So I just want to add that.
Yeah. So it's very interesting. The names also have meaning. Indumati means reflects moon. It's like the Indumati is nothing but moon.
Reflection of the sun.
Reflection of the sun. But no, the light is reflected on the mind.
Yeah.
But where is the mirror pointed is what matters. Is it pointed towards the world, or is it pointed back at the sun? So I will just leave it at that. Maybe if there's no other comment, we will, because the story is not full. I'm going to read the rest and next, and then we will. Yes, Sanjay, please go ahead.
Sai Ram, or no, I a little bit off this discussion, but I thought there was something incredibly important to recognize here, that all the three kings so far not abdicated, but gave up their thrones and sought and decided to pass it on to the next generation.
Yes.
At the peak of their, at the peak of their rule, which is to understand that it's almost like that was just a secondary function of their life.
Yes.
They were always aware of what is their primary function and primary goal, and this just came along by virtue of their birth in that family, and they discharged those duties to the best of their abilities, while following the highest of dharmas, and moved on to their real purpose of life, which comes through. And it's almost like it was Lord Rama, no doubt, but Rama had good genes, so to speak, to give up on a whims, on a very quick instruction. Tomorrow is your coronation. You have to go to the forest. Okay, in the same mindset to go off to the forest. I just thought I would remark that. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Sanjay. Rama exhibited much different. When Sita was abducted, also he was not like Dasharatha, I guess, but we'll leave that for another day when we get to that.
No, absolutely. I don't think Rama is in the same fiber. I didn't mean that way at all. But what I meant was, such good.
They were all dharmic. See, I think they were all dharmic. I think that's what you are trying to say.
Yes, and the role models in the lineage were all, and for us also, we make our occupation, our roles that we have as a center of our lives, because of which we have a hard time giving it up.
Exactly.
And whereas they did not have, the main purpose was well defined. This was just a added on functions to their main purpose, and the discharged were happily let go of it.
Okay. Yes, if everyone okay, we will just we can come back to this if necessary later on also.
Brother, yes. One more thing, brother, in the previous slide, because he loved so much, so deeply Indumati, so he will same thing. He may be in the ruling also. He's following. Maybe that's how I am reading it. Because of that so deep love, that is how he's seeing it, and he's doing everything.
So I will elaborate a little, sister. Swami says, actually we should go and read the Telugu again. Sorry, I am. Swami says, Indumatini bimbamuganu, Prakritini pratibimbamuganu bhavinchi. This is what he says. He says, he treated Indumati as the image, the main object. And the nature or creation as a reflection. Not the country and the subjects. Prakritini. Swami has used the word Prakriti. Prakriti means nature. So he was an admirer of Indumati and an admirer of nature. So that is why he took a lot of joy in going to the forest and spending time. Swami says days and weeks. So that means he was enjoying natural beauty.
Yeah, with a deep love. That's the main thing.
I don't know where deep love, maybe in English.
Yeah, loved so deeply. So Indumati, if he loves like that, same thing he's applying for the whenever he's seeing the nature or the subject like that. I'm just.
So I will read that sentence in Telugu.
Yes, please.
In English, the word love has come, and we think we love everyone at home also. So, but the thing is, Swami is saying, I will read word by word. That's why reading in Telugu is very important. So, Indumatini bimbamuganu, Prakritini pratibimbagamanu bhavinchi. He considered Indumati as the main object, image. And the nature, he felt the nature is her reflection. Okay? There's no love here. Love is not mentioned. Ajudu atyanta anandamuto kalamu gadapuchu. So he spent all his days with lot of happiness. Okay. Kalamu gadapuchu. Iruvaru vanamulaku velli. Both of them went to the forest. Sahaja sundaramaina prakritini chuchuchu. They looked at natural beauty of this nature. Dinamulu, Varamulu, Vanamulande Gadapiravaru. They spend days and weeks in the forest alone. Okay, there is no mention of they love.
Okay. So it's a different little meanings, different.
Much differences.
Yes.
Telugu is
It is.
Very much different.
Yes.
Okay.
It makes difference.
He didn't look at the people on the street and say, "Oh, they are Indumati."
No.
Okay.
And he didn't love, like that love is not there. Okay.
Exactly. But I know it's in your heart, so you're seeing it.
Yes.
But it is not in the sentence which Swami has written there.
Okay, great.
Because
Thank you.
he was enjoying the beauty of Indumati and he was enjoying the nature's beauty, and he's thinking they are one and the same. So that is why he was going camping regularly, or cottage, or whatever you want to call it. And he spent weeks and days there. Okay, he was enjoying life.
Sai Ram.
Sai Ram.
He must have been a great admirer of the beauty of nature.
Yes, uncle.
Great admirer. That's why he spent most of his time in the nature itself, days and weeks and years. I mean, whatever time they spent in the forest, it was all spent admiring the beauty of nature, and at the same time he loved his wife also.
Admiring her beauty also.
That's it.
It's a different way of admiring the nature there. So that's what Swami trying to tell us. Okay, thank you, Sai Ram.
Yes, right. Okay, Uncle Gopal.
One day, Aja and Indumati betook themselves into the forest, as was their wont, for recreation in the lap of nature. The silence and the sublimity of that day were even more appealing than on other days. They sat in the shade of a tree and conversed endearingly. When a wind rose, heavy and strong, it brought a fragrance sweet beyond description, and they could hear the captivating strains of divine music. They rose and searched all around them for the cause of these mysterious gifts. They found high above their heads, between the clouds in the sky, Narada, the mental son, Manasaputra of Brahma, moving fast somewhere. Even as they were watching him, a flower from the wreath he was wearing on his tuft unloosened itself, and wafted by the wind, it fell right on top of the head of Indumati. Aja was amazed at this incident, but he was shocked to find that the queen fell instantly on the ground in a faint and closed her eyes forever. The death of the woman he loved as intimately as his own breath caused desperate grief to the ruler. His lamentation shook the forest from end to end. The earth quaked in sympathy. The trees stood still, rooted in wonder at the sorrow that filled the royal heart and overflowed it. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. Auntie will read the Telugu.
ఓకే సారీ. ఒకనాడు అజుడు ఇందుమతి దేవి వాడుకను అనుసరించి ఉద్యానవనముకు విహారార్థమై వెళ్ళిరి.
So one day, at the request of Indumati Devi, Aja went to the gardens for I don't know. Vihara meant for moving around,
moving around.
Moving about.
వాడుకను అనుసరించిన as usual following that.
Okay.
Vaduka, their ritual.
Vadukanu, so their normal practice.
Normal practice, yeah.
Practice.
ఉద్యానవనకు విహారార్థమై వెళ్ళిరి. ఆనాడు మరింత ఉత్సాహముతో ప్రకృతి దృశ్యములను తిలకించుచు.
So that day, with great enthusiasm, they were enjoying the sight of nature.
అతి దూరము వెళ్ళి ఒక చల్లని ఛాయలో ఇరువురు కూర్చుని,
They went very, very far and they sat under the shade of a tree.
కబురులు చెప్పుకొనుచుండ పెద్ద గాలి వీసెను.
Under the cool shade of a tree, and they were just chatting about all and sundry. Kabru means all sorts of news. They were just all sorts of things which they were discussing. And that time there was a great wind.
అందులోని పరిమళము వర్ణనాతీతము.
The fragrance which came in that wind was unexplicable.
ఇంతలో అతి మధుర గానము వినిపించెను.
In that time they also heard some sweet music.
ఇరువురు లేచి అటు ఇటు పరికించుచుండ,
so both of them got up and they were searching here and there.
వాయు మేఘముల మధ్య బ్రహ్మ మానస పుత్రుడగు నారదుడు అతివేగముగా ఎచ్చటికో వెళ్ళుచుండెను.
So they saw the Manasaputra of Brahma, Sage Narada. He was traveling among the clouds and the wind in a very great hurry somewhere.
He was going very ఎచ్చటికో వెళ్ళుచుండెను.
Somewhere was going in a hurry, very fast.
ఇంతలో అతని శిఖకు చుట్టుకొన్న సుగంధ పుష్పము గాలికి ఊడి కొట్టుకొని వచ్చి,
so while this was happening, a flower which was in his hair fell down. A sweet smelling flower fell down in the wind and it was taken by the wind.
ఇందుమతి శిరమున వ్రాలెను.
It came and fell on Indumati's head.
అజమహారాజు ఈ ఆశ్చర్యము చూచుచుండగానే,
when Ajamaharaja was witnessing this great wonderful thing happening,
ఇందుమతి దేవి నెల వ్రాలి శాశ్వతముగా కన్ను మూసెను.
Indumati fainted and fell on the ground, I guess, and permanently closed her eyes.
ప్రాణ సమానముగా ప్రేమించి జీవించుచున్న అజుడు ఈ దృశ్యమును చూడలేకపోయాను.
King Aja, who treated Indumati as his own life, and he loved her, and that's the way he was living, he could not bear this sight.
అతని రోదనముతో అరణ్యమంతవు దద్దరిల్లెను.
His wailing was causing, I don't know, the entire jungle was shaken by his wailings.
భూమి కంపించెను.
The earth itself moved.
వృక్షముల సహితము చైతన్యరహితమై ఆశ్చర్యపడినట్లు కనిపించెను.
The entire
forest, entire trees.
The trees, vrikshamulu sahitamu means along with the trees.
No, even vriksha, even trees. Vrikshamu kuda.
Sahitamu appadina.
Ama.
Even the trees were wonderstruck by this sight.
I think that's avladha. I think it's so that shows that he loved her so much. As he said in the beginning, of course he did his duties, but he loved that part of it. It is highlighted here.
The focus was slightly different.
More on his wife.
Yes. So I will stop here. Anyone who would like to discuss any of the aspects, we can discuss. Yes, Ron and Pina.
Sai Ram, I just want to comment that Daridra Brahmin had a cow. Only cow left. And he was so much attached to the cow, the Krishna took the cow away. Just wanted to mention that here. It's just like that.
So
Sai
it
Ram.
is Sai Ram. One is Kamadhenu, other one is the cow of a poor Brahmin. No, that's what it is.
Just to wean him away from this kind of love. This is only worldly love. Now leave it. Then come, start spiritual way. That's what, in other words, you can say that.
Because he led a very dharmic life, Dharma itself will bring about certain events in one's life so that they can turn towards God and vairagya, renunciation. I think that's the idea. So Swami is just obviously.
And Swami also wanted to tell us that don't attach too much. The things you are more attached, it would go away soon. And that sort of maybe lessons, or maybe that the Swami wanted to explain through this one. He was so attached to his wife Indumati, and suddenly, within a second, it has been taken away. And I was wondering, in the previous the slide, the Indumati was described as sister of Bojaraja. So is there any significance about the name of the Bojaraja? Because Swami said in the Ramayana, every single character brought in with the meaning.
Sister, I think we can't hear you.
Here the Indumati, the sister of Bojaraja, is there any significance of Swami, the describing that, rather than just telling Indumati, is the bride of the, maybe the Aja, maybe he wanted to tell that Indumati is the sister of Bojaraja. Is there any significance, or maybe for the name of the Bojaraja, or maybe there is some sort of what is the meaning of Bojaraja? Maybe I will start with that one. It's a Bojanam. Maybe the it's like maybe he has given the importance for for the food, that's why it's a Bojaraja, or maybe there's some other meaning for that one.
A good question, sister. Anyone who would like to discuss? So, okay, sister, no one is going. So, yes, Bhoj means enjoyment. It's not only food. Many people enjoy food, but Bhoja is to enjoy. It comes from the root word Bhuj. So, you can say any object of, like Bhojana means any object of enjoyment is Bhojana. That which we enjoy, consume and enjoy, that is Bhojana. Yes, you are right.
That's the reason I asked. The Indumati is the sister of Bojaraja. She loves the enjoyment. That's why right away they went to cottage for maybe the weeks and months. That's the reason I asked, brother. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sister. You are really looking at the essence of every word. Very good. Very nice.
Thank you, brother.
Yes, Sister Shanti Kumar.
I was thinking happiness and sorrow is part of life. If you're enjoying a lot and in full of happiness from worldly pleasures, you can be sure to know sorrow is on the way. And same when you're in deep sorrow, this too shall pass. So this is the nature of life.
Thank you very much, sister. Yeah, so Swami wants us to understand the impermanence of anything in this world. That also comes through in this. Yes, Rohit.
Sai Ram, uncle. So, I mean, I was just thinking about these two slides here and two pages actually, and often there is a comparison as Swami has written, not comparison but correlation between his wife Indumati, Aja's wife Indumati, and Prakriti. So I was reminded of this thing that Swami had told, and I somehow feel like this is connected. So I'll just read this short thing that Swami had said in a discourse about Purusha and Prakriti. So
Yes.
Swami had said, Purusha and Prakriti are the two, these are Swami's words, not, I'm just reading from Swami's discourse. Purusha and Prakriti are the two eternal entities involved in creation. Purusha, the masculine entity, is imperishable and permanent. Prakriti, the feminine entity, is perishable and impermanent. So while Purusha is the eternal reality of divinity or the cosmic witness, Prakriti or primal matter is given a motherly connotation. Thus, Prakriti is also referred to as Bhumata, Mother Earth, Lokamata, Mother of the World, or Jaganmata, Mother of Creation, and Vishwamata. Likewise, Prananatha, Lokanatha, Jagannatha, and Vishwanatha are the various names given to masculine entity Purusha. This is where the discourse ends. So I was thinking, if you go back to that previous slide, um, about how I'm stuck here because Swami says, so he was full of happiness and exaltation. So I think Aja, and because of his deep spiritual lineage, as his ancestors were also fully practiced, I think somehow he was able to find the truth, realize the truth of the connection between Purusha and Prakriti, and that's why he was able to see the entire Prakriti as a reflection of his wife. So I think he was able to realize it, and because of his realization of the unity of the feminine and the masculine aspect of the universe, he was full of happiness. That's what I'm thinking is happening here, and that's why even there is so much mention of nature here in Aja's story. I think because he was able to realize the unity between Purusha and Prakriti. Thank you, Sarah.
Sai Ram, Rohit. Anyone else would like to share any thoughts? Then maybe we will move on. Yes, Ron Bina.
Sir, I'm just on the subject of Purush and Prakriti. The way Bin and I see it is that looking at the behavior of Aja, it appears to us that his focus was more on the Prakriti than on the Purush. That is, he was more dealing with the transient nature, and because of its transience, it gave him much sorrow. That's all, Sai Ram.
Thank you very much. See that. Thank you, Ron. You brought. See, in this world, many people enjoy the world and all the pleasures of this world. They actually enjoying the Purusha, but they think they attribute it to the Prakriti. And because of that, when the Prakriti goes, they think they will not have that joy. That is why people are always sad. Because they forget that the Purusha is the real bestower of joy. But they think it's the Prakriti, and that's a lot of many people in the world. If we really see the Purusha, when the Prakriti, which is impermanent, vanishes, we will not be upset because we will still love it, Purusha. We will not be affected. Thank you.
I think Swami is also showing it, the last whole paragraph, he shows how far-reaching the effects of that attachment can be.
Yeah. We'll go to the next slide, I guess. I think it's very depressing for everyone. So
Narada heard the wail of the king, his sobs and groans, as he wept over the corpse of his beloved. He came down to console his agony. Raja, he said, sorrow is of no avail when death strikes. The body is prone to birth and death. What brings about birth brings about death too. To seek to know why they happen is an exercise in insanity. The acts of God are beyond the cause and effect chain. Ordinary intellects cannot unravel them. They can at best guess the reason as far as their faculties can reach. How can the intellect grasp something out of its domain? Death is inevitable for each embodied being. However, since the death of Indumati is resonant with strangeness, I have to tell you its reason. Narada said. He drew Aja near and said, Listen, in former days, the sage Trinabindu was engaged in extreme asceticism, and Indra resolved to test his attainments and the depth of his equanimity. He dispatched a divine enchantress named Harini to attract him into the world of sensualism. But the sage was immune to her wiles and remained unaffected. He opened his eyes and said, You do not seem to be an ordinary woman. You are perhaps a godly damsel. Well, whoever you are, you must suffer the penalty for resolving to execute a foul deed, a nefarious plan. Be born as a human being, fallen from heaven, learn what it is to be as a mortal human. Cursing her thus, the sage closed his eyes and plunged into meditation again. Sai Ram.
Thank you very much, Uncle. So we'll read the
తెలుగు సాయిరా. ఈ ఇందుమతి దేహముపై పడి అజుడు కన్నీరు కాలువల అగునట్లు విలపించుచుండట నారదుడు విని క్రిందికి దిగి వచ్చి,
Okay, what the king did was he just fell on the body of Indumati and he was shedding tears and his
కాలువల అగునట్లు, the tears were flowing just like canals. కాలువ అంటే కెనాల్.
Yes, Kalvai. During it was like river, his tears were flowing. Let's put it as small rivulets flowing. Yeah. And Narada heard his cry and came down.
అజని ఓదార్చి, రాజా మృత్యువన ఆశ్చర్యమెందుకు, శోకము పనికిరాదు.
So he tried to console the king and said, O king, why are you surprised of death? This type of sorrow is of no use.
కాయమునకు జనన మరణములు సామాన్యములు.
For the body, birth and death are natural.
జననమునకు ఏమి కారణమో మరణమునకు అదే కారణము.
Whatever is the cause for birth is the same cause for death also.
వీటికి కారణం వెతుకుట వెర్రితనము.
To search for the reason or cause is foolish.
దైవ నిర్ణయమునకు కారణములుండవు.
For God's decisions, there are no reasons.
వాటిని అర్థము చేసుకొనుట సామాన్య మానవులకు అసాధ్యము.
To understand their meaning is impossible for human beings.
వారి వారి బుద్ధి శక్తులను అనుసరించి కొంతవరకు ఊహింతురై కానీ బుద్ధికి అతీతమైన తత్వమును ఎట్లు తెలుసుకొనగలరు?
They may be able to understand it based on their abilities to some extent, but what is beyond buddhi, intellect, that principle, how can anyone understand or know?
మరణము ప్రతికాయమునకు తప్పునది కాదు.
Death is something which cannot be escaped by anybody.
అయితే ఈనాటి ఇందుమతి దేవి మరణము కొంత చరిత్రతో కూడినగుతుకే తెలుపవలసి వచ్చినది.
So, but today, this death of Indumati, there's some story behind it. So there's a need for me to tell you.
అని అజమహారాజును దగ్గర చేర్చి,
He brought King Ajat near him.
రాజా, పూర్వము తృణబిందుడని ఋషి ఘోర తపము ఆచరించుచుండ,
King, in ancient time, there was a rishi by the name Trinabindu who was undertaking very severe penance.
అతని తపోశక్తిని పరీక్షింపకోరి ఇంద్రుడు హరిణి అను ఒక దేవకన్యను పంపించను.
So Indra wanted to test his power of his tapas, and he sent a divine damsel by the name Harini there.
ఆమె తపోభంగమును గావింప అనేక ప్రయత్నములు చేసెను.
That damsel made many efforts to make obstacles for the tapas.
అందులకు ఋషి ఏమాత్రమును చలించక,
the rishi was not affected by any of this.
కన్నులు తెరిచి పరమ పవిత్రమైన తపస్సును భంగపరచుటకు పూనుకొన్న నీవు సామాన్య వ్యక్తివి కావు.
So he said, you who have tried to cause obstacles to this sacred tapas, may you become an ordinary human being.
No, you are not an ordinary human being. కావు. నీవు సామాన్య వ్యక్తివి కావు.
Or you are not
that.
You are not an ordinary normal person.
బహుశః దేవకన్యై ఉండువు.
You are definitely a divine damsel.
ఎవరి ఏమైనను పాపకార్యమునకు పూనుకొంటివి కనుక నీవు దేవలోకమును వీడి మానవలోకమును జన్మించి,
whoever you may be, because you undertook this sinful activity, intended to do this, therefore you will leave the heavens and go to the earth among human beings.
మానవత్వమును అర్థము చేసుకొని మెలుగుదువుగాక.
Yeah, so may you experience what is the human principle, and then come back or something.
You become better. మేలు
means you become better.
అని శపించి కన్నులు మూసి తిరిగి తపము ప్రారంభించెను.
He cursed her like that, and then he closed his eyes and he started his return back to his tapas.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone would like to discuss any aspect here? Yes, Sister Shanti.
I think she probably had some kind of a divine nature that he was drawn to. And she was not an ordinary human.
She was not an ordinary human.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to discuss anything?
Indra was so insecure that anybody who tries to do some austerities, he thinks that he is trying to overtake his power and try to be competent for his throne. That's what he was always thinking.
Thank you, Auntie. Anyone else would like to discuss? Yes, Sanjay.
There's this one sentence in English, and I don't think that is what Swami said in Telugu, or maybe I didn't catch it. If you wouldn't mind, Auntie, maybe going to that section where in the English here it says the acts of God are.
We can't hear you, Sanjay ji.
Oh, really?
Properly, please.
It's a bit faint, Sanjay.
Any better now?
Yes.
No, okay, sorry. There's one sentence where in English it says the acts of God are beyond the cause and effect chain. I don't think I heard that in Telugu.
No.
Would you
No,
mind?
you are right.
It's not there, right? Okay, so
It's
this
not
is
there.
yeah. Okay, all right. Just want to confirm because the sentence doesn't make
Any meaning, I know.
yeah. Okay,
Yes,
all right.
thank you. Yeah, I wanted to point out, but you noticed it. So, yeah, so Swami is saying no one can understand how God operates. He says, so there's no cause and effect. That's not the mention.
దైవ నిర్ణయమునకు
Yes.
కారణములు ఉండవు.
So there's no reason for the decisions of God, you can say, or conclusions, whichever.
Sai Ram,
Yes.
the sage, would have known by his, the power and everything, who is the culprit here, the maybe the Lord Indra, not that, the Indumati, maybe that the Lord Indra would have forced her that, okay, you go and, maybe disturb his tabas or something. I always wonder why these sages are so, without having a second thought, who has been behind this act, he has given that sort of very severe punishment to her. I was wondering, if this kind of punishment these days, we would be doing lots of fight, but those days, these sages, even though they know that, but they have given that sort of severe punishment to a lady, I thought that is bit, in my mind, it's unfair, thank you.
Okay, Sai Ram. Anyone would like to comment on this?
The Sai Ram. So why Narada is saying this story that I'm trying to understand? Thank you. Can you please tell us that why this?
Narada is consoling Raja.
Yeah, but what is he trying to tell out of that?
No, you don't have to repent at cry over her death. She was a Daivi Kanya, but she had that curse, so she went away. That's the reason why she died. Simple reason, that's it. And he doesn't have to worry. I mean, saying that he is going to be separated from his wife.
That something is telling us for us also to learn from that, right? Something, that's what I'm trying to understand. What is this Swami trying to tell?
See, as Sister Ananthi said, every word Swami uses is very potent. When Swami mentioned Narada, Swami also described him as Manasaputra, the son of the mind. Okay, Brahma Manasaputra. He was born from the mind of Brahma. So the thing is, but our Chandrama Manaso Jata, that's something. That means the moon is born from the mind. So Indumati is nothing but also the mind. If you want to look at the inner understanding. And it is the mind is the sister of someone who enjoys, king of enjoyment, Bhojaraja. Okay. Who is Indra? Indra is also the mind. Swami says the head, the lord of Indriyas is mind. Indra. So in our life, our mind is our own enemy. We may consider, we will say we will do sadhana. Who is the biggest culprit who interferes with that? Our own mind. Okay. If our own mind will say, oh, let us go and enjoy this or that, that is when the downfall falls. So that is a reality. So the mind only has to tell one, this is wrong. That's why Narada is telling the king. See, he's a Manasaputra. So our thoughts, which are divine, should advise our own mind. Look here, don't spend time on this. So everything is in the mind. Swami will say the Ramayana is actually in our own life.
Okay, I got it.
Dashendriya, body, the 3 gunas, all that. So the thing is, our own mind has to tell ourselves, our buddhi has to tell.
Yeah.
Buddhi has to tell, look here, this is not right, this is the life, reason. So that's what Narada is doing. So Ajay is the Jivatma who is actually not born. We are not born in this world. We are never born, we are never die. But he doesn't realize. So then I think Sister Anandi asked, why was severe punishment? Just because somebody instigates, you are not supposed to make a crime. So both will get punished. The one who makes someone do a crime is also punished. The person who does the crime, where is their buddhi go? So, they can't become very weak. They are also making some, they are also engaged in activities. So the Rishi says, see what, even in her own life, I think, she had to experience certain human experiences she has to have. So though Swami has not gone into detail, Indumati also must have wanted something and may have suffered also. And then through that she caused, and the Aja also got caught in it. So these are things which have some subtle understanding. So, people can ask, where is heaven? How did the divine dimensions come? From a pranic perspective, yes, it's all stories in some way. They will come, make put on a form, they will seduce you and all that. So that is what, so her nature did not change. So to some extent, you can see that Indumati did the same thing to Aja also. See, what she tried to do for Trinabindu, she tried to do it for Aja, and Aja fell flat. That is what Narada is telling. Be like Trinabindu. Don't be like Aja who is crying over this body. That's the story.
Again,
Very
Trunabindu.
nice. Thank you.
Trunabindu, the drop of a grass. Truna means grass.
Grass.
A part of a grass, we can say. That is most negligible.
So there is another meaning for Bindu. Omkaram Bindu
Samyuktam.
So the thing is, Bindu is nothing but Sabda Brahman. Even in a grass, there is Brahman. But if the Brahman is fully intact, that is a Purusha, then all the wiles of the world will not affect that person. So he was, even though he was a Trina, he was like a insignificant person. He had the Bindu fully established. So because of that, he was unaffected by the wiles of the world, distractions of the world. So actually Narada is telling, be like Trinabindu, don't be like this fellow falling on the woman and crying. That is a lesson Narada is giving Aja. The story has to be told so that he learns how he should live. So that is a lesson. I hope. Sister, I think you have to unmute and speak if you're speaking.
Brother, one more question. Very, very nice. Now got the inside of the story, why he's saying that. But why the sage, Anandi asked, why this sage is always cursed? Is there any reason behind that all?
No, in the Sanskrit, in Telugu, Swami has said, "Me laguvat." See, sometimes you have to given some punishment, so you will become better. So the curse is go down, experience, and through that process you improve yourself.
Okay, Samadana Danda, that comes under that. Okay.
Whatever, yes.
Yes,
exactly.
Danda. Okay, thank you, Sai Ram.
Okay, so Swami, that is not. See, he did actually. The English translation does not explain that. I think Auntie tried to tell me about that when
Which one?
The last word, Auntie.
పాపకార్యమునకు పూనుకొంటివి కనుక నీవు దేవలోకమును వీడి మానవలోకమున జన్మించి మానవత్వమును అర్థము చేసుకొని మేలగుదువు కాక.
So he's not saying you will be cursed indefinitely in the go through experience and through that process you become better, improve yourself.
మేలగుదువు.
Yeah. Menmai adai in Tamil will say. So he didn't say you will be eternally cursed and you will suffer in the He says go experience and through that process learn something and become better. That's what he's telling. So the curse of rishis is only for your betterment.
Yeah, today only it's very clear. Thank you so much.
Okay.
It's 10:16.
Yeah.
I think Sanjay, yes.
I just want to say one thing, and we can discuss this further next time. I think it's important. I thought it was important to understand that Swami points out even intention has such repercussions, not just action. The very thought of wanting to do something had such repercussions. And I thought that is important to bear in mind.
Yeah, okay. I will have to repeat what Sanjay said faintly. He says intention is as important as actions. Intention itself has its repercussions. It does not necessarily have to material into actions. But he said we will discuss it next time.
Yeah.
We will close the session with the Samastaloka prayer. Sai Ram.